Graphing in science is super important. What it does is it takes data like this, which is the global average temperatures of Earth, which is 4 pages of numbers, which probably makes no sense to you, and it converts it into a graphical representation, which looks like this. And you don't need to know anything about science, about global warming or anything like that, and you can see just by the fact that it's labeled temperature and year, you can see that the Earth is warming up. Now, the nice thing about having something like this in science is it lets us make some predictions. You can see the trend, which is an upward trend, but you can also look at this and guess what might be happening in the year 2018, 2019, or 2020, which is called extrapolation. Now, if we were collecting data every 10 years and we wanted to know what was probably happening every 5 years, we can also make some predictions inside our data, which would be called interpolation. This year, my job is to make sure that you can graph scientific data nice and neatly and accurately. We're going to be using an acronym called DATAs to ensure that you don't miss anything important. DATAs stand for data, appearance, title, axis, and scale. Data. Data, we just want to make sure that you plotted the points correctly, that you've drawn a line of best fit, and if we need it, the slope is there. Appearance. It just needs to be neat, it needs to be done in pencil, and if we require legend, which we don't need all the time, but if it does, it's there. Title. The title must be descriptive, it must be underlined, and it must include the units. Axis, that's the X and Y axes. You must identify your variables correctly so you know which one belongs on X, which one belongs on Y. It must be labeled correctly with the name and the units. And scale, the last one, is just size. Did you choose equal increments for the X and Y axes? Did you space everything appropriately? And finally, does the data points occupy about 3/4 of the graph paper? Next lesson, we're going to take some data and make a graph using the acronym to make sure that we don't miss anything important.